My name is Thomas. I used to think that vaguely being aware of each teacher integration of technology in teaching and finding out about it on an ad hoc basis was sufficient, and that teaching students the digital age would be just a bit more IT focused. Now, I think I can do my job as teacher and educational leader much better doing research about it and planning accordingly. I also think that teaching learners in the digital age is so different from previously that it requires deep study and application of a new mindset and skill set to our old profession. The teacher question research contextual information is that the goal of the questionnaire and subsequent interviews with 33 middle school teachers reporting me was to find out how effectively they are using the online teaching platform ManageBack and found out which other programs are used to facilitate teaching and learning. Teachers were given the questions below to complete the questionnaire, and this was followed up with personal interviews to gain more information. Questions were: how do you use or integrate ManageBack with teaching with specific examples? 2. How would you like to find out about how to integrate ManageBack with teaching? What you would like to find out. 3. Which other technology do you use to integrate with teaching with specific examples? 4. Which questions do you keep in mind when integrating technology with teaching? 5. Other information you think that is important. Filling the questionnaire in and during the interviews, teachers all claim to be using the program to maximum effect to plan lessons, share the weekly planning with students and their parents, post homework, give feedback about students' learning, post assessment grades with feedback celebrating student success, as well as feedback about how students can improve grades, posting additional worksheets and multimedia files to deepen student understanding, and email communication with students and parents. But when I personally checked the use of other features of this program, I found that the planning is done well, but the gradebook is not used as much as it can be for reporting formative assessment grades with written feedback about how students can improve. I will encourage them to do so in the weekly faculty meeting next week. I also found that some teachers are using useful programs such as Padlet, Kahoot, Google Classroom, Lightshot, and Jamboard. It will be good for the team if they share the advantages of using these programs at the weekly faculty meeting. Student survey context and questionnaire. The contextual information is that the goal was to facilitate effective teaching by finding more out about each individual learner and to find out which trends there are and develop a general group profile. The information required in the specific question were 1 and 2 was demographic, name and so forth. 3, information looked for, literacy skills, listening, speaking, reading and writing. The question was, in which English class are you? Advanced, intermediate, beginner or EAL. 4, information looked for is family background and other social, economic and cultural influences. Question, which language do you speak most at home? Arabic, Kurdish, Turkish, English and other. 5, information looked for student interests, skills, talents, extracurricular activities and responsibility. Question, what is your most important interest, skill, talent, extracurricular activity or responsibility? 6, information looked for access to and use of technology. Question, at home do you have access to internet, computer, your own computer or your own phone? 7, information looked for student special needs, if any. Question, do you go to counseling for any counseling, yes or no? The survey findings were that of the 64 grade 9 and 10 students, 10 surveys was done with SurveyMonkey and 54 with paper. Of 100% of the respondents were in the English advanced class, which indicates high levels of English literacy skills, listening, speaking, and reading and writing. The second one, which language do you speak most at home? 50% were Arabic, 20% Kurdish, and 10% English, which shows a predominantly Middle East family background and other social, economic, and cultural influences. What is the most important interest? All respondents 100% showed interest in football and IT, which will be a good connection point in lessons. The next one, do you have access to internet, a computer, or your own computer at home? 70% of the respondents had their own laptop and the others had access to a laptop. All had their own mobile phones. Question 5, only 5% of the respondents went to the counselor, indicating a small number of students with disabilities causing stress, which needs intervention by the counselor. What I learned from cohort discussions and my own research about teaching in the digital age, a class organization can be physically done using the U-shape and horseshoes. Online lessons incorporate 5E online tools, engage, explore, explain, elaborate, evaluate, and designing a digital toolkit. Student-centered approaches that can be used to address differentiation. There are many ways. The one I found most useful in this multilingual community is to let students verbalize their thoughts orally in writing in their mother tongue before doing so in English. Implementing assessment. Assessment is more than test scores. Assessment is key to creating a more student-centered classroom, and we can assess student passions and learning styles. We can assess 21st century success skills and formative assessment of content and skills, and we can also assess for instruction. Student-centered approaches for or techniques including physical movement as a central element. Humans were not meant to be sitting down for hours on end. All the learning theories show that physical movement is an important part. The experiential learning theory say that people learn by doing, and there are 4 steps in the cycle of learning: concrete experience, reactive observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. Student-centered approaches or techniques for reading. Using the Scholastic Online Learning Zone, students have powers to choose books. Teachers can also monitor and track students' reading performance. Other approaches include picture walks and picture play, interactive books, online books, and art activities. I used to think that in future teaching will be pretty much the same, just a little bit more IT centered. Now I think that it's so very much different and a whole new mindset and skill set is required, and that doing proper research will be a key to success.